In this video we're going to be looking at this screen, which is an ALR screen, an ambient light rejecting screen. It's pro tension floor rising out of a small electric box. So my friends, this is the quite stunning floor-rising electric pop-up screen from Vividstorm. Now, this is a ALR screen, an ambient light rejecting screen, and it produces an image which is incredible, and I can't believe the difference, and I'm never going back. This is what it looks like when it's up, and as you can see, it's fairly dull, but this is what it looks like when it's on, and I'm using an Optima laser projector to demonstrate the full capabilities of this screen. So this will give you an unbelievable image during the day, but a breathtaking image when the lights go down. So these type of screens are designed to work with ultra short throw projectors and particularly work well with laser projectors. Now this is the mechanism. I've spun the screen round so you can see what happens when you turn it on from the back. And it's a very simple and very clever operation. It just rises up from the box and you've got those two mechanical arms which effectively just straighten up and then they'll fall back slightly to give you the perfect tension. You have two remote controls which come with the screen, the IR, the infrared remote control, and the RF remote. There's also a USB wireless 12-volt projector trigger, which means you can plug that into your projector. If it's got that function, when you turn your projector on, the screen will automatically rise. And here you can see the screen going back down into its case, and if you did have this either on a floor or behind a specialized unit, then it could be completely invisible and you could really do a very cool home cinema setup. A screen like this works perfectly if you don't want to have a fixed screen up all the time. Or for instance like my setup where I've got the TV set into the wall and you can have this popping up from the bottom. Let's have a look at the difference between this and a standard screen. This is an ALR screen, which means ambient light rejecting. Now the difference in this example here between my normal screen which drops down from the ceiling and this ALR screen is absolutely incredible. Both the source is the laser Optima projector which is in front of it, and as you can see the difference in colours is quite astounding. Now it's made of a special material which rejects light, and I'm going to pan around in just a second to show you how light this room is, because this is bright daylight, and this has been measured to reject 97% of ambient light, and as you can see from this test it looks completely different to the drop-down screen above. So ALR screens are definitely something that you ought to be considering if you're in a bright room. And for me, this has really made a big difference because I have banged on a lot about projectors that do well in the light when I've not really thought so much about the screen. And as you can see from this test, it is completely different. Let me just show you how light it is. If I just pan round, it is literally the middle of the day. And all of the blinds and windows are open, and so therefore I'm not attempting to darken the image at all. And in exactly the same way as normal projector screens, the image will just continue to get better and better the darker the room gets. I wasn't expecting to see as much difference during the night or in a pitch black room than what I did between this screen and my standard screen. So once now my dog's got out of the way, hopefully you can appreciate it. Now what I would say is looking at this video and then doing the voiceover, it is actually not quite as noticeable on the video as what it was in reality. It was significantly better in the flesh. So now what you're looking at is my Duronic screen, which is around about £110 for a 90 odd inch image. So this is significantly cheaper, and I'll go through prices a little bit later, and it does deliver a good image still because you've still got that laser projector, but it's definitely not as good when you look at it side by side. On the left you have the ambient light projecting screen, and then on the right you've got the standard Duronic screen. So in reality, side by side here you can definitely see a difference. in reality, standing in front of these screens, there was much more of a difference. I would probably say 20 to 30% better for the ambient light rejecting screen. And obviously as you zoom in, it makes even more of a difference. I'm just going to take a freeze frame in a second, and you can see the extra detail that you get on the left. So here's the freeze frame of this piece of meat, which looks amazing by the way. And as you can see, the one on the left, if I zoom in, has definitely got more detail. Now remember, the projector is exactly the same. There is no difference in the source material, and there's no difference in the projector. So you are definitely getting a better image with the ALR screen. Now what you must bear in mind is that this is as close as these two screens will get. The more and more light which is then added to the room, the difference between the screens just becomes more and more apparent. And so therefore, if you are in a pitch black room, then yeah, the difference is not going to be much, but more light means more problems. If you're wondering what other accessories come with this amazing screen, then you get these things here. The two controllers, an infrared controller and an RF controller, so you don't actually need to have line of sight, which is a nice feature, especially if you put this screen into some type of unit. There's a USB trigger, which means that when you plug that in, if you turn on your projector, the screen will automatically rise, and likewise when you turn your projector off, the screen will automatically fall. Not every projector will have that function though, so you do need to check your own projector. There's a USB cable to charge your remotes with, and there's a paintbrush which will dust the screen and keep it clean. So these controllers look really sleek and really simple, very good, definitely recommend them. There's also a little holder, so if you want to fix that to a wall so that you don't lose it, you can do that easily. So these screens are at their very best when used with an ultra short throw laser projector from underneath. The way that the screen is designed, it rejects the light coming straight at it and at it from above. It's difficult to see in this test, but there's lots of horizontal lines which absorb the light from below but reject it coming on the side. What that also means is that you get incredible viewing angles and up to 170 degrees. And as you can see here, I'm right on the side and it almost gives a 3D type image to the screen. It's absolutely stunning. Now I mentioned earlier that I'm using the Optima UHZ65 UST, and that's the name in the UK, which is far too long. In the United States it's called the Optima P1, which is far better. And as you can see, it's very close to the display. In total it's around 10 inches, producing a 110 inch image, and that gives you a total of 2 feet away from the screen. So bear that in mind with your setup. Now I've got a very narrow TV cabinet, so I've had to use the support of a cushion or a footstool, but you get the idea of what the setup would look like in your scenario. You do therefore need to think about where you're going to position it. Now the total distance between the back of the projector screen and the front of the projector in this type of setup is around 70 centimeters or 2.5 feet. So you do need to think, what are you going to do? Now ideally I'd probably want to get something a little bit more bespoke, which lifted the projector screen off the floor slightly and then was still big enough for the projector to sit on there also, so that it was protected and obviously not just lying on the floor. So my friends, these projector screens are not the cheapest. The 84 inch is the bottom model. Now that starts at $1,150, which is approximately £900. The 92 inch is $1,200 or £950. The 100 inch, $1,300 or £1,000. The one that I've got, the 110 inch, is $1,550 or £1,200. And the 120 inch is $1,959 or approximately £1,500. Now I will leave links to the Amazon page for the US and also the Alibaba page, which is what Vividstorm gave me, so that you can check them out for yourself, guys, and you never know when these will be on offer. So my friends, what are your thoughts on this combination, a laser projector and an ALR screen? Now, standard ALR screens are also very expensive, so this is the best of both worlds, so don't be too put off by the price, because when you start researching ALR screens, you'll realise how expensive they are. But with a laser projector, the one that I've got is around £3,500, $3,500, so together it comes in around about £5,000 or dollars. Now, that is giving you an incredible laser image of 120 inches. Now, replicate that in a 4K TV, and it's going to be a hell of a lot more than that, my friends. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks as always for watching. Stick around, make sure you hit the red button and subscribe, because we're doing a full review on that very laser projector that is there underneath that screen, and that will be coming very, very soon. Thanks again, my friends. Have a great week.